to keep us down, just to have the upper hand. At first you may not see what's deep inside our soul. Now the time has come for us to rise above the odds. We are strong and we're survivors. You can test us if you want. We make no compromises. We are unbreakable. You can beat us down, we'll never quit. The fight has just begun. This is how it's always been. We are unbreakable. Yeah.
Just a picture-perfect day in downtown Cleveland for the Tribe's home opener here in 2010 as the Indians all set to battle the Texas Rangers. Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Tribe coming off a road trip in which they had a great chance to finish 3-3. A disappointing defeat yesterday in Detroit. Now they're hoping to bounce back, get the home portion of the season started on the right foot behind Fausto Carmona.
Well, Fausto Carmona in his first start, he pitched very well. He had a floating strike zone. We weren't quite sure what one was going to be called. He did walk 6 guys, but realized he only gave up 1 hit. And in that first inning, a couple of walks came back to hurt him because of a stolen base, a sacrifice fly. But overall, Fausto threw the ball very well. He held his composure. He held on. The Indians got him a run. He ended up winning the ball game for him. So we're hoping that he shows up today.
Rich Harton also had problems with the walks his first time out. 5 free passes in just 3 2/3 innings for Texas. But what we know about Harton from the past, he's a power pitcher, as evidenced by his 8 strikeouts in those 3 2/3 innings of work. We'll be back with all the play-by-play action. It's the Tribe and the Texas Rangers opening day here in Cleveland, and it's all coming your way next.
We are unbreakable. Yeah.
Time as the Indians get ready to take on the Texas Rangers, and Fausto Carmona will face this lineup for Ron Washington's Rangers. Julio Bourbon, left-handed hitter, leads it off. Then Michael Young at third base. In the three holds Josh Hamilton. Vlad Guerrero will DH and hit cleanup. And it's Nelson Cruz in right. Chris Davis at first, bat sixth. Joaquin Arias at second base. Taylor Teagarden will catch and hit eighth. And then it's Elvis Andrus, the shortstop, hitting ninth. Fausto Carmona, 26-year-old right-hander on the hill for the Tribe. And his first pitch sails wide for ball one.
Young Bourbon off to a very struggling start. A guy that they wanted to insert in that leadoff spot because of his speed. Take over in center field for Josh Hamilton. Very promising start to his career last year.
Just 1 for 21 to start the year for Texas. Pops this one up. Foul ground. Maybe a play for Peralta. Reaches over the railing and hauls it in, one down.
Well, let's check out today's starting pitcher, brought to you by the Indians Team Shops, where you'll get 2 free Tribe tickets when you spend $50. Carmona making start number 2. He gave up to 3 runs in 6 innings. He only gave up 1 hit. That was a 2-run homer by Paul Konerko. He did walk 6, but as I said earlier in the open, it was a floating strike zone. He made some very good pitches Mike Redmond thought could have been called strikes. But that day, that cold, frigid day in Chicago, they were not.
Now, Michael Young, without a doubt, the best all-around player on this Rangers club, takes a strike, and the count quickly 0-2.
Well, the heart and soul, really, when you think about the Texas Rangers, he was just won his first Gold Glove at shortstop, and then in that offseason, they asked to move him to third base a couple of years ago. Well, what's he do? He goes to third base and wins a Gold Glove there.
Lays off a tough pitch.
This is one guy that's a tough guy to strike out because he goes the other way. You can see he does check. Kept the hands back.
Ran it inside and struck him out.
Excellent pitch.
As you say, that one had some teeth on it.
Yes, it did. Let's take a look at the Home Depot doing more on defense Indians defensive lineup. In the outfield, it's Austin Kearns back and left again. Brantley is in center. Chu is in right. Peralta at third, Cabrera at short, Valbuena is at second, Laporte at first. And behind the plate, Mike Redmond, who is going to catch Fausto Carmona this year.
Josh Hamilton steps in for Texas, looks at a ball outside. Hamilton was 2 for 4 yesterday with 2 doubles. Broke his bat. At least it sounded like he cracked it. And Valbuena throws him out. 1, 2, 3 go the Rangers. A good start for Fausto Carmona. Now the Indians offense will take Rich Harden to task when we come back. Active today as Dribble Cabrera leading it off, and Michael Brantley in the 2-hole with Grady Sizemore still sidelined. Shin-Soo Choo hits third. Travis Hafner batting cleanup. Then it's Johnny Peralta and Matt Laporta, a couple of right-handed hitters. Luis Valbuena will bat seventh, and it's Austin Kearns in left and Mike Redmond, the veteran catcher, batting ninth. Right-hander Rich Harden. Up high, ball one. As Dribble lifts it in the air to center. Back goes Bourbon. And that's out number one.
Let's check out the starting pitcher, Rich Harden, coming over from the Cubs, signing with the Rangers, making his second start. He had a really strange game for him, only 3 2/3 innings, but he had 8 punch-outs, and he also walked 5. Guy that's a power pitcher, was traded and originally came up with the Oakland A's, who was very good when healthy. But that was always the question mark. Will this guy stay healthy, and how long can he pitch for?
Michael Brantley batting in the 2 spot in the order. Normally, he's batted down in the 8th or even the 9th spot. But with Grady Sizemore still out with the bad back, Brantley in that 2-hole and playing center field. Good off-speed pitch in there for a strike.
Rich Harden, this is his second start here in Cleveland at this ballpark. The other start came about 6 years ago. It was towards the end of May.
1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
But he has made 5 starts in his career against the Tribe. His record 1-0.
Well, we remember when he originally came up with Oakland.
Yeah.
There was a lot of hype surrounding his debut. Hard thrower. But injuries have been a big part of his career, unfortunately. He's had a strained left oblique that put him on the DL, a muscle strain in his back, a sprained elbow ligament, a right shoulder strain. A lot of shoulder problems.
It's always been something.
Missed inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
But it was when they traded Kevin Millwood, they felt they needed another veteran for that rotation because they had a lot of young kids coming up in the rotation, and they got a bunch of good young arms on this team. So Millwood went to Baltimore for Chris Ray, a bullpen guy.
Count remains 3-2 on Michael Brantley. Well, as we learned here in Cleveland, and I don't know that Kevin had the same impact in the Ranger clubhouse that he did in Cleveland, but sometimes just trading a veteran for a veteran doesn't always solve the issue.
No, you're absolutely right. You got to go out there and.
Hamilton running out of real estate, and he couldn't come up with it.
Well, we lost him.
Yeah, the ball and the wall sort of converging at the same time. The umpiring crew today, Marvin Hudson calling balls and strikes. Jim Wolf at first. The crew chief, Darrell Cousins, is at second. And Jim Joyce, the unmistakable strike call, is down at third. Another look. Yeah, he was looking for the wall and lost track of the baseball right at the end.
Well, when you're on a dead run, and there's not much time to stop over there. We see a lot of guys go sliding in feet first, so they can protect themselves against the wall.
Again, Brantley lifts it foul and out of play.
This will be a 10-pitch at bat for Michael Brantley. Something that we saw him do a lot last year. You know, being a young hitter, being able to go deep in the count in a number of his at-bats. They did a terrific job against Justin Verlander yesterday. He had a 42-pitch first inning. They ended up nipping him for 5 runs on the Valbuena grand slam.
Brantley, a soft liner, and it's caught by Arias. 2 away.
Let's check out the Rangers defense behind Harden this afternoon. They have made 3 errors this year. It's Hamilton in left, Bourbon in center, Cruz is in right. On the infield, Young is at third, Andrus at short, Arias is at second, Davis at first. Behind the plate, Taylor Teagard.
All right, Shin-Soo Choo steps in. Looks at the ball outside all month long when the Indians hit a home run. STO, WTAM, and H.H. Gregor giving away a free HD TV. And our first contestant today is Ryan Michalski from Columbus. If you're not registered, visit STOHD.com right now. Get yourself signed up. And then for a second chance to win, listen to Wills and Snyder tomorrow morning on News Radio WTAM 1100 at 7:11 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Choo sends a drive deep to right. Cruz back. He's out of room. It's out of here. Shin-Soo Choo with his second home run of the year stakes the Indians to a 1-0 lead. And no sooner did I get the words out of my mouth.
That's why you wanted to tell him.
Ryan Michalski of Columbus wins a free HD TV. Thanks to the Choo home run.
That's going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. The Indians will take an early lead on another home run in the first inning. Second given up by Harden this year in his second start. And I mean right there, down and in. Nitro zone. There it goes. He turns that wind around, and that goes a long way, Matt. So Choo with his second homer. And for the Rangers, they had a string of 28 in the third innings of not giving up a home run.
That's exactly right. Last 4 games. So Ryan Michalski of Columbus has a free HD TV, and now William Cook from Columbia Station is our next contestant. The Indians hit another home run today, then William Cook of Columbia Station will have a free HD TV as Choo gets some knuckles from teammate Matt Laporta. One ball, one strike. Hafner with a homer and 3 ribbies. Two one pitch, high, 3-1. I said to Travis before the game today, I said, no rain, no snow. You probably don't know how to act on this opening day. And he said, are you kidding me? I love this. He said, if I got to the point where I knew how to act because it was raining or snowing, then something would be wrong with me.
Well, it is nice. The sun out shining.
Hafner with a drive toward left center. This is falling, and it's in the gap. Travis a big turn, but he'll have to hold with a long 2-out single. Bourbon was playing him more towards the pull side, and Hafner just dropped it in.
I find that hard to believe because a lot of teams will shift Hafner in the outfield to the left field side and play him to pull on the infield side. He hits it off the end of the bat. He didn't drive that ball, but what he did, he stayed on it nicely. And he goes to left center field. Bourbon's not going to catch up with it. But that ball checks up, and he's going to hold Hafner to a single, but most teams shift him to play him to left center field. That's surprising.
Now Johnny Peralta takes a strike. Johnny got his first home run yesterday. It was a long drive to left field at Comerica Park. And a routine roller to short. Fielder's choice ends the inning with the home run by Choo as the Tribe in front 1-0 after an inning of play. By Subway, play hard, eat fresh. By Continental Airlines, a proud sponsor of the Cleveland Indians. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. And your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Second inning here at Progressive Field. Tribe with a 1-0 lead as Vladimir Guerrero leads off for Texas. Carmona misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Not an easy guy to walk. Guerrero is a guy who goes up looking to swing the bat.
This might be one of the toughest guys to walk because rarely do you see him take 2 pitches in a row. Believe me, he couldn't touch him if he doesn't swing.
Line drive right field and a base hit. First knock of the day for Texas.
You talk about a man that was born to hit. That guy is one of them. He reminds me so much of old Roberto Clemente back in the day.
13 hits and 25 at bats to start the year.
That's a good pitch. They run it. It was upstairs. That's why he's able to muscle it out into right field. But look, he doesn't get his hands extended. It jams him, but he still finds a way to get a hit. I think the Texas Rangers signed him because when he was with the Angels in Anaheim, he wore the Rangers out. So they figured he's better off being in our lineup than he is in that against our foe in the West.
If you can't beat him, sign him.
That's right.
Nelson Cruz. With Guerrero running on the pitch, and Redmond double clutched a little bit and then unable to get enough on that throw. And Guerrero has his first steal of the year. In fact, that's the first stolen base attempt.
Yes, it is.
For Texas this year.
It sure is. And, that's exactly what it was, the element of surprise. They're not thinking this old man's going to run. Well, he took off first pitch, and at one time he was an excellent base stealer early in his career. But that's the first attempt this year, and it is successful.
Now a runner in scoring position for Nelson Cruz, who takes a strike, and the count quickly 0-2. Made the All-Star team last year, did Nelson Cruz.
Put a display on in the home run derby.
Yes, he did.
If you remember, if you watched it, and I'm sure you did.
Finished second.
This guy has excellent power. You get down there. Yes, he did.
Home plate umpire rings him up. Marvin Hudson said he went too far.
No, I thought he did. I thought he was asking for help.
2 strikeouts for Fausto Carmona, 1 down here in the second inning.
Check it out from our side view. After the series in Detroit, it seemed like he went. Everything was called on the check swing. He wanted to get help, but the home plate umpire said, no. Marvin said, I saw you. You went around.
And you sort of like that, don't you, when the home plate umpire takes charge
more
often?
Yes, I do.
It's not easy to do. Sometimes they get blocked out. They don't see it. But
when you do, it used to be when the home plate umpire, man, they had a pretty good idea. The only time they would check down there is when they really needed help. Nowadays, the catcher can just say, hey, check, and they have to check. But no, I like when the home plate umpire takes charge on that.
Chris Davis, Rangers first baseman. Looks at a strike outside corner, and at least here in the early going, Carmona seems to have very good command of his fastball.
Looks sharp.
Davis has 3 hits and 7 career at-bats against Fausto Carmona.
This is a young man also with a lot of power, but capabilities of swinging and missing as well.
Carmona looks Guerrero back, throws to first, 2 down. Well, today's injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Friedman, Damiano & Smith. When you're injured, depend on them. Find Friedman, Damiano & Smith online at fdslaw.com. Well, Grady Sizemore still day-to-day with the tightness in the back. And for the Texas Rangers, they've got a number of their key guys out. Ian Kinsler, most notably, their fine second baseman, has got a bad ankle sprain that happened late in spring training, which is why Joaquin Arias is in the starting lineup and playing second base. And he steps in right here with a runner at second and 2 down.
Well, they missed that bat. Yeah, Kinsler. He missed some time last year as well with some issues. He was their leadoff hitter for a while, and they're looking to put him and to drop him in the order. More of an RBI slot.
Arias hasn't hurt him with the bat so far. 8 for 16, as you saw right there. Carmona missed inside, 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, he's had back-to-back 3-hit games. That's always healthy for you in the early part of the season, isn't it? That'll carry you for a week or so.
Yeah. Carmona with a 2-0, and there is a strike on the inside corner. Mike Redmond telling Fausto Carmona, look, when I'm catching you, you just pitched. Let me do the worrying. I'll do all of that for both of us back here behind the plate. You just focus on hitting the glove.
Well, that's a pretty good remedy right there. And Carmona looks like he's under control today. Sometimes, he seems like he can really get amped up and excited and, caffeined up. But he looks good today. Emotions under control.
Home opener here in Cleveland. Tribe with a 1-0 lead, second inning. Texas with a runner at second and 2 down. Carmona with a 2-2 pitch. Runner goes, and a jam job foul over toward the Indians' dugout.
Yeah, I don't know why he's running in that situation. It's a 2-2 count. You're in scoring position. You're going to get a good jump because the middle infielders are back. I don't really get why he's taken off in that situation. Arias swung at a pitch that might have been in off the plate, unless he just felt he could walk into third base.
Carmona's pitch. And again, Arias spoiling it to stay alive. Sellout crowd here at Progressive Field. Many of them still filing in, probably cutting out of work a little bit early.
Work? They never went to work. I was driving in here, and on the bars on the way in, they were packed. There's no work today.
You're working, aren't you?
No, sirree. This is fun. This is never work.
Carmona steps off the rubber. You haven't worked a day
in my life. I've been told that before, too. Well, it used to be a tradition where when you were a kid, you grew up in this area. Did you skip school? Did you come to open a day? And don't make it like, you skipped all your life in college. I'm talking about school when you were a kid.
Fouled away, and it remains 2-2. I'll plead the fifth. I don't know. I don't remember skipping
Kids
school.
used to skip school and come to the home opener, man, at the old ballpark when there were 60,000 people around. It was great. They may be a little too old to skip.
Runner at second, 2 down, the 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to Peralta at third. And the inning is over. Carmona works around a leadoff single. And we'll go to the bottom of the second with the Tribe on top 1-0. Chu in the first. Matt Laporta, Luis Valbuena, and Austin Kearns will face Rich Harden here in the second. And Laporta looks at a ball up high. Check swing. Did he go? They'll appeal, and Jim Wolf, the first base umpire, said he went too far. 1-1 to count. Harden with a 1-1, and it's up high. 2 balls and a strike. Chu's homer in the first, by the way, traveled 407 feet. And again, it's the 2-out run for the Indians.
Yeah, they've been the master of that to this point, and that turned the wind around because that wind's blowing in from right center.
Pretty good poke here into the wind. And the center fielder, Bourbon, has it 1 away. Our great clip of the game brought to you by Great Clips from yesterday. Luis Valbuena, first inning, bases loaded, 2 outs. And it's a grand slam. Relax, you're at Great Clips. First slam of Valbuena's career, and it staked the Indians to a 5-0 lead. Still a stinging defeat as the Indians were not able to hold the lead. They had an 8-3 advantage late in that game, but the Tigers came back to get them.
Yeah, that was a tough one because you had their #1 starter, Justin Verlander, a guy you couldn't touch last year, and you knocked him around.
Valbuena smokes one deep to right, but he's out in front of it, and it goes foul.
These guys are liking the fastball off Rich Harden so far.
Well, this team has turned over quite a deal, but if you remember last year when we were at Wrigley Field in Chicago, the Indians tattooed them pretty good that day. 1-1 in the dirt. Swung on and missed. And he struck him out looking. Rich Harden gets his first strikeout here in the second inning, 2 down.
Well, it's Green Awareness Day here at Progressive Field Saturday when the White Sox will be in town. It's a 4:10 start. You can learn how you can be more eco-friendly with activities from our green partners, and including the Earth Day Coalition. All fans will receive an Indians cap made completely out of recycled bottle caps. Great seats still available. Visit Indians.com for tickets.
Austin Kearns looks at a ball down low.
I didn't think so. Okay. Yeah, of course. It's only we've known this for 6 months, but we've known we were going to open up on 8 to 12 a long time ago.
2 balls and no strikes. Rich Harden is a native of Victoria, British Columbia, which is just about 25 miles north of Seattle, Washington. 3 balls, no strikes, the count here on Austin Kearns. Taking all the way, it's a strike. 3-1 the count. Rich Harden, not the first Canadian-born player to appear for the Texas Rangers. In fact, the guy you battled for many years, Fergie Jenkins, was a Canadian-born.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He sure was.
Austin Kearns draws a 2-out walk here. And it will give Mike Redmond a chance to bat in inning number 2. Of course, Fergie Jenkins pitched his way all the way.
He's in the Hall
of Fame.
Yes, he is. He was a good pitcher for a long time. Pitched for the Cubs and the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
He used to love pitching in old Arlington Stadium when that wind would blow in from right center field. You could just throw it down the middle to the left-handers and let them hit it a mile, and that wind would just blow it back. And, you know, he was one of those guys with such great control and a great competitor. And to this day, he lives in the Phoenix area. He's a terrific person. Him and Bob Feller were doing something out in Scotland, or the Mesa Airport this spring. They had something going on there.
1 ball, 1 strike. course, Bob Feller celebrating the 70th anniversary of his opening day no-hitter, which is actually 4 days from today will be the actual anniversary.
The official date.
Bob throwing out the ceremonial first pitch before the game today.
And you notice, 91 years old, he didn't step up in the dirt or in the grass. He went right to the pitching rubber. 60 feet, 6 inches.
Mike Redmond flares it to right field. That's going to drop. Austin Kearns will stop at second. And the Indians have their third hit today against Rich Harden. 2 on, 2 out. And Asdrubal Cabrera will be the batter.
You know, he says he throws it just as hard. It just doesn't get there as quick. I mean, he goes right. He toes that rubber. There's Sandy Alomar, who is going to catch the ceremonial first pitch. He was that's a brushback pitch.
Just remember, folks,
but folks,
he's
91
years old.
That's exactly right. I'm going to tell you, his memory is so sharp. He had 3 no-hitters in his career, and of course, he's more proud of serving in the armed forces and in the service than he is of his baseball career. But truly, one of the greatest men that I've ever known.
A dozen one-hitters.
Oh, I know it.
36 complete games in 1 year.
Well, we could tack on probably about another 50 or 60 wins on that card from fantasy camp, but I don't know if he'll take them.
Strike called outside corner. Well, Rick, you could probably make a strong case that you could tack on at least 40 to 50 more wins had it not been for his military service.
4 years, I would say 80 to be, conservative.
It's inside. 2 balls and a strike. So Cabrera in a good spot here, but there are 2 down in the inning. 2-1 pitch. Fouled back. I say, but that's actually that's where they got him right where they want him. I
was just going to say, well, that's their secret weapon, man. You got to start the inning with 2 outs and go from there. To me, that's total concentration. When you get 2 out base hits, which is the toughest hit to get in the game, that's when you're really locked in and you're concentrating.
High pop right field. Cruz near the line. Makes the grab. Indians strand a pair. Through 2, it's Cleveland 1, Texas nothing. Indians lead, top of the 3rd here at Progressive Field. For Texas, Taylor Teagarden, Elvis Andrus, and Julio Borbon will bat against Fausto Carmona, who's made 26 pitches through the first 2 frames.
Now one hitter on either team has swung at the first pitch yet today.
3 of his 8 first pitches have been strikes now. And he's got Teagarden tied up 0-2. Teagarden in there for the banged-up Jared Saltalamacchia, who is another injured player for Texas. Talked about Ian Kinsler earlier.
You know, it always happens, and that's why every manager talks about coming out of. Oh, good
Swung
pitch.
on and missed. 1, 2, 3. And Taylor Teagarden is out number 1. Third strikeout for Carmona. Well, aerial coverage today is being provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. And our thanks to the guys for providing such beautiful shots of Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland here this afternoon.
You know, talking about the managers getting out of spring training, all you can ask you, that's what they say. I want to get out of spring training healthy. You don't want to see guys on the disabled list because you know it's going to be a long enough year as it is.
Right. Anders pulled the bat back 2-0.
Young man that had a very good year last year. Just a young kid, and they ended up giving him that shortstop job, moving Michael Young to third. Remember, they kept Omar Vizquel over there for a little tutoring for this kid. He's got speed. He's an excellent defender. They were concerned about his offense, but he ended up having a pretty darn good year.
Well, and it took Omar Vizquel a couple of years before he got his offensive game in line. But once he did, boy, he took off. Missed inside 3-1.
I mean, when you think about it, that field down in Texas and in that heat, he played 140 games started for him last year at shortstop.
Strike called, full count. Well, there are times in the middle of the summer where it can be 105 degrees at game time.
Yeah, and you know how that field bakes and how quickly that ball gets through the infield. Their defense became a lot better last year.
Payoff pitch. Missed inside.
Well, we want you to fill the house for the Salvation Army of Greater Cleveland. That'll be Wednesday. The Indians will take on the Rangers. That's our second game. We're off tomorrow. It's Monday. So every ticket sold, $1 will be donated to the charity, and great seats are available at super value prices. You can save up to 50%. So visit Indians.com for the tickets, and that'll run out every Wednesday home game this year. They will have a different charity, something that worked out very well last year.
Mike Redmond going to go to the mound quickly for a chat with Carmona after walking Andrus and falling behind Bourbon.
Well, out of the first time through the lineup, he threw 3 or less pitches to 6 batters. That you love to see from Fausto Carmona. I want to send along a special birthday wish to Paul Teeple of Warren, turning 97. We talk about Bob 91. Paul Teeple of Warren, 97. Happy birthday, Paul.
Carmona has 3 ground ball outs, 3 strikeouts. The only out in the air was a foul out by Julio Bourbon, the batter at the plate right now.
Now, this is a guy you would expect to run.
A little bit high, it's 2-0.
But we did mention earlier in the second inning when Guerrero got on, it was their first stolen base attempt this year. And this game number 7. But you made a point. They opened up at home, and there's no need to run a lot down there in that big ballpark where you can, a lot of gaps.
A lot of gaps and a lot of balls fly out for home runs.
Boy, they sure do.
Nelson Cruz in that 6-game homestand hit 4 home runs for Texas. Fausto ready with a 2-0 pitch and a strike called.
Seems like these little guys, Andrus and now Bourbon, they're starting to make them work and try and take a lot of pitches.
Anderson's running, got a great jump. Bourbon pops it in the air into foul territory and slicing into the seats. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Typical count, you know, when you have guys that can put the ball in play. You also have guys that can run a 2-1 count. Managers like to start their runners and see if they can get something happening. Ron Washington tried. They fouled off.
Now Fausto with a 2-2. Anders running. Tapper by the mound. Cabrera has to hurry and dug out nicely by Matt Laporta. Boy, he has acquitted himself very well in the early going at first base.
Well, I got to tell you, he made a couple of nice picks like that in Detroit. And Cabrera was covering on that ball, and he realized that he had to get rolling. Because this guy can get down the line, he got to go back to his right, and he realized, just let me get rid of it. And Laporta with the nice backhanded pick. Nicely done. 2 outs.
Ron Washington, Rangers manager, went out to talk with first base umpire Jim Wolf about to call it first. 2 down, Andrus at second, and Michael Young the hitter. Checked his swing, went too far. Young struck out on his first at bat. Now, we have said in the past, regardless of how Carmona struggled a year ago, for right-handed hitters, most right-handed batters will tell you, no fun facing Fausto Carmona. Even for a hitter as good as Michael Young.
Well, you know what happens? You know why it's no fun? Because when you're sitting out there, and Michael Young's a guy that tries to shoot it the other way, think about hitting a shot put that's coming in at about 90 miles an hour. You know, to dig it out of there, he has a heavy ball. And he doesn't even know where it's going half the time with such great movement on it. As a hitter, some guys that you face, some balls just seem a little harder to hit and a little bit tougher to center on.
Good example right there. You were just talking about it. That looked like that sinking fastball just bearing in. He got a piece of it, but
yeah, and then when you start bailing and start opening up and cheating to hit that ball, really what you should do is take that pitch if you can. But boy, and then you start cheating to open up. That's when they go away with the breaking ball, and the catcher notices all of that. That's the guy behind the plate that sets it all up.
The 1-2 broke his bat. Valbuena puts it in his glove, and the inning is over. So Carmona works around the 1-out walk. We'll go to the bottom of the third. It remains Cleveland 1, Texas 0. here in Cleveland. Always a great tradition.
Well, this will be our third and final home opener of the year. Of course, we started on the road in Chicago and then the home opener in Detroit. And finally, it's our own. We like that one because this homestand, this is basically the only time we're here the rest of the month.
Seemed like we had at least 3, if not 4 openers last year. We
Right.
opened Yankee Stadium. Of course, we had the home opener in Cleveland. Opening day in Texas. There might have been one more.
I think there was.
The 0-2 to Brantley misses up high. A ball and 2 strikes. Brantley a soft liner to second his first time up. The only run of this game, a first inning homer by Shin-Soo Choo. Brantley lifts it in the air. Backing up Elvis Andrus, the shortstop. 1 away. Back in the first inning, there were 2 outs. And Shin-Soo Choo sent a Rich Harden pitch high and deep to right field and gone. That brings the Great Clips home run counter up to $250 donated this year. For every homer hit by the Tribe, Great Clips donates $50 to the Gathering Place. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Shin-Soo Choo looks at ball 1. Right-hander Rich Harden with a 1-1. Up high, 2 balls and a strike.
The Indians really had no luck or success against the Rangers last year. Remember, we opened up in Texas. They spanked us for 3 straight, and we ended up coming home, and it didn't get much better after that. But just 1-8 against the Rangers last year, 1-5 in this ballpark.
Ron Washington's club really had a very successful season, all things considered, a year ago.
87 wins, yeah, they were making a run at it.
Payoff pitch up high, ball 4. Rich Harden has walked his second of the game. Time now for our Subway fresh face of the game. And for this, we take you down on the farm, the Indians player development system. Carlos Santana off to a blistering start. Already 4 homers, 8 ribbies, .438 average. First week of the season. Subway fresh face of the game. Subway play hard, eat fresh. Rangers shift for Hafner. They've got 3 on the right side. Of course, Travis Hafner was a Texas Ranger product before coming to the Indians.
You rarely see that anymore with Travis Hafner hitting.
We haven't seen it much, and
now look at the outfield alignment.
Now they're going the other way.
They're the other
First
way.
time up, they were playing him to pull in the outfield, and he crossed him up.
Well, I guarantee you, before today's ball game, before they even went in for batting practice, they had their meetings and they had their defensive alignments and everything, but it's already been adjusted from the first at bat.
You almost wonder if Bourbon lined up improperly in that first
I don't,
inning.
because there's still going to be a coach in there to watch him and see where he's lined up for every hitter to move him if need be. So maybe that's the way they were going to do it and say, no, we'll go back to the way it was. Forget about it. Play him to pull on the infield and play him away on the outfield.
As you said, there's generally not much reason to play him to pull in the outfield, because if he pulls it, chances are he's going to hit it hard and it's going to be a home run anyway.
Yeah, and Gary Pettis is their bench coach, who was a former center fielder, so he's keeping the eye on on everybody out there, and he was a good center fielder.
Rick, how long did it take you as a young center fielder to learn the hitters to where you didn't need a coach to line you up?
Well, once you got to know your pitching and your pitching staff and what guys, I mean, when you started playing teams in your division, you'd play them 18 to 20 times a year.
The left fielder Hamilton will make the catch.
And
Choo forgot how many outs
there
were.
Did.
He's on third base, and there's
gonna
only
be a
2
double
outs.
Play.
So they'll just take their good old time, flip it over to first, double play ends the inning. Chu was standing on third base, and I was thinking, that's an odd place to be when there's only 2 outs. Well, that's that. Through 3, 1-0 Cleveland. Fourth inning here at Progressive Field. Josh Hamilton, Vladimir Guerrero, and Nelson Cruz for Texas. Fausto Carmona has allowed 1 hit through the first 3 innings. He has walked 1 and struck out 3. Josh Hamilton grounded out to second base his first time up. Looks at a ball off the plate outside 1-0.
Well, here's another guy that Texas needs to stay healthy this year. Let's see if he can come back and be as productive as he once was.
Backhanded by Laporta. The flip. 1 down. Let's pause 10 seconds now for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you here at Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, where the Indians hold a 1-0 lead thanks to a first inning homer by Shin-Soo Choo. Vladimir Guerrero has the only Ranger hit thus far. Sends this one to Johnny Peralta at third. 2 down.
Well, fans, get gear and go cheer. If you spend $50 or more at any Indians team shop, Progressive Field concession stand, or at Indians.com, you'll receive a voucher good for 2 tickets to any Indians home game in April, May, or June. Visit any of the Northeast Ohio team shops or Indians.com for more details.
Nelson Cruz struck out his first time up. Takes a ball down low from Carmona. Cruz did not like the call in that second inning. It was a check swing, and the home plate umpire, Marvin Hudson, rung him up on it. One ball, 1 strike. Kansas City tattooing Detroit 10-5. Today at Comerica Park. They're in the 8th inning.
Just looking at those numbers, the Tigers have already made 4 errors in that game.
Oof. Cruz sends a high drive, deep left field. Brantley, the center fielder, at the wall, and it's the left fielder, Kearns, who had it clank off his glove. Rolling into third base with 2 down is Nelson Cruz. Boy, Kearns gave it a great effort. He got back to the fence, Got leather on it, but it just wouldn't stick.
Well, it's a byproduct there of not playing in this park before is what had happened. That wind should normally help him out, and I think if he got back to the fence a little quicker, and then you make your adjustment coming in. Now, I don't know if the ball was in the sun or what. Brantley's over there. He couldn't call him. Kearns makes an effort. It hits his glove, and then he hits the wall. He was about a half a step away from, if he could have got there a little bit quicker, he would have been able to make that catch. It will go as a triple.
Got him right in the palm of the mitt.
What happens when you think you're going to hit that fence?
Oh, a slicing ball toward the line. Kearns with a dive, and he makes the catch.
Beautiful.
He more than makes up for it with a terrific diving effort just inside the line. And the Rangers strand that runner at third base. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth here at Progressive Field. Carmona loves it. It's 1-0 Cleveland. And the first pitch from Rich Harden tips off the glove of Taylor Teagarden and sails to the backstop. Sellout crowd here today at Progressive Field. Game time temperature 55 degrees. Plenty of sunshine, some clouds overhead, but really a beautiful day. On the infield, Joaquin Arias makes the catch. One down. Here's how the top half of the inning ended.
Well, I'll tell you what, the triple I thought should have been caught. This one, he makes a terrific play to get out of the inning because that ball is slicing away from him. You know, the left-handed hitter going to the line, it's sinking and pushing away, but he ends up making a nice diving catch, gets out of the inning, and we'll get some high fives from his teammates.
Like all good outfielders, though, Austin Kearns still laments the one that he didn't catch, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Well, you know, the old thought process is if you get there and put leather on it, you better catch it.
Yeah.
You know, there's always times where, you know, there's certain situations that they're very tough, but that's the way they look at it.
High drive into center. Bourbon, 2 down. Right now, we want to send you back to the studios for this in-game update. Here's Dave Chudowski.
All right, guys, you talked about it. I want to show you video proof. Kansas City and Detroit. Scott Pasednik. He's 4 for 5 with 3 RBI today. That made it 9-5. It's 10-5 Kansas City in the 8th. KC with 14 hits, as you mentioned. 4 errors for the Tigers. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Chud. 1-zip drive on top here. Luis Valbuena ran to the front of the box. Took a strike.
A la Scott Pasednik.
That's a good point. You must have heard us talking about him. And a swing and a miss here, 0-2 quickly. Rich Harden 66 pitches on the day, 37 for strikes. Valbuena lays off.
Compared to his first start, the strikeout total's not there, but neither is the walk total. So he seems to have a much better command in his second start than he did his first.
Valbuena spanks it foul. He had a long foul ball off of him in his first at bat. The 1-2. Missed in off the plate with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two down, bases empty here in the home half of the fourth. And the count goes full. Now the payoff pitch. Valbuena with a hard grounder to first. Behind the bag, it's Davis who takes it himself, and the Indians go 1-2-3 for the first time today. 4 complete, 1-0 Cleveland. Buttery caramel or rich mocha blended with a hint of coffee and ice. McDonald's, I'm loving it. By KeyBank. Stop into your nearest KeyBank. Start a conversation and unlock your possibilities. And by Panini's. Panini's Bar and Grills are expanding. Visit PaninisGrills.com for a list of new locations opening this year. Top 5 here at Progressive Field. Indians 1, Rangers 0. Bottom third of the order for Texas. Joaquin Arias grounded out to third his first time up. This time he'll try Cabrera. Long throw. Not in time. Arias getting down the line in a hurry to beat it out.
Well, that goes to show you once it gets by the third baseman over there, if you have above average speed, which Arias does, awful tough for a shortstop to get anything on that throw. He's got to come in, keep his motion going, his momentum. Make the throw. You just can't get enough on the throw when you have that speed. You can beat it out, so it goes as an infield single.
Rangers had their leadoff man aboard for the second time today. Taylor Teagarden struck out his first time up.
They're going a little
That's
small
got a piece
ball.
of Mike Redmond off the foul when Teagarden tried to bunt.
That's the same hand in Chicago on the follow-through. That when he was catching, remember he took that foul tip from the bat of Ordonez, or was that?
Got the thumb, Rick. It just ripped his thumb right down. It's hard enough for a catcher to catch a sinker ball pitcher sometimes, and it'll rip that thumb down because the ball's so heavy, as Rick talked about. There's a case where the foul tip came straight down. Caught him on the bottom part of that glove. Runner goes. Pitches down low. Throw to second. Not in time. Good effort by Redmond. Came up, made a good strong throw, but Arias able to beat it out. Second steal for Texas today. They're 2 for 2 now on the year in the stolen base category.
Yeah, you can see he just didn't get enough on it. It was there. Tried to put it on it. So they have 2 stolen bases in the game.
1-1 pitch. Teagarden pulled the bat back.
It was Andrew Jones in Chicago that ended up following that long swing and hitting him on the hand with the glove hand. You forgot already? Yes.
No, I remember him getting hit. I just didn't remember that it was Andrew Jones. Because I remember Mike saying after the game, he said, if it wasn't 37 degrees,
right,
it'd probably just shake that off, no big deal, but it tends to sting a little more. Rangers trying to move that tying run over to third base here. Teagarden. This time the foul tip nails Redmond.
He is beating him up back there.
I don't know if it got him inside the shin guard. It must have. Yeah, it sure did. You could see him reaching down.
Boy, oh boy.
Inside the shin guard on the top of the knee.
And this is a catcher that's doing this to him. That's not fair. They're in the same fraternity, boys. There's a deflection, a bad bunt attempt. It got him right on the kneecap. Even though there's protection there, folks, that still hurts. So you can see he is in pain. And all right, let's listen to it. See if we can hear it just deflect off his knee. Ouch.
That's called a direct hit.
Well, you know what it does? It skims that bat. It just redirects the baseball. It doesn't take any speed off of it.
That's not a glancing blow,
no,
folks.
It is by no means. And the reason why, you see, both times he tried to bunt the ball and he did it. His bat is behind home plate. He doesn't have it out in front to where you have to get the ball to when you bunt it. It's impossible for him to put a bunt down because it'll be in foul territory. And Mike Redmond's paying the price for it. Look at the bunt attempt. Watch where the bat angle is. There's no way if he bunts that ball, it's going fair. You see, he just holds it there. You got to get it out a little further.
It's hard to tell on the side view if he even got a piece of it.
Well,
almost
he did.
Looked like he completely missed it.
No, he did. It just deflected because it went straight down.
Well,
he's saying
said before, catchers are a tough breed.
Mike's probably saying, look, there's 2 strikes. You're not bunting now, are you? Please swing away.
Struck him out.
Thank you.
4th strikeout for Carmona. 1 down here in the 5th.
Watch this ball move in on his hands. He gives him no swinging room whatsoever, and that also tries to keep him from knocking that ball to the right side of the infield to get that guy over.
By the way, Taylor Teagarden now 0 for 14 to start the year, and 2 strikeouts today. There's Elvis Andrus, who walked his first time up. Carmona trying to keep a close eye on Arias so he can't just steal third. Turned him out of the way, ball 1. Rangers are now 0 for 6 on the day with a runner in scoring position. Missed inside again, 2-0. And now Mike Redmond wants to go out for a chat.
Well, this is what these next two guys did to him the last time they were up. Andrus drew a walk back in the third inning, and then Bourbon started to take pitches, trying to make Carmona work. Fausto has only walked one this afternoon, struck out 4. That walk coming to this batter right here.
Fausto's 2-0 pitch. Andrus taking all the way. It's 3-0. Julio Bourbon waits on deck. So far, has Andrus even offered at a pitch?
No, not in this at bat.
I don't think he did in his first at bat either.
Well, he's just, that's what I said. They seem like they're trying to be very, very patient. The two kids, the two rabbits. All right, it may change now. You got a 3-1 count. He should get something decent to hit.
Last time in this situation, he faked the bunt attempt and took a strike. This time it's ball 4, so he's walked twice today. We're in the home stretch for the 2010 census, and it's not too late. Fill it out, mail back your census form today. We should have to fill out a census form just for this booth.
I think we will. We'll be in trouble if we have to do that.
A lot of illegals in here, aren't there?
Yes, there are.
You guys all got your green cards? Your papers in order? 2 on, 1 out. Julio Bourbon 0 for 2 today. He is fouled out and grounded out.
Well, and this is a tough guy when you think, okay, you've got a situation, double play. Tough guy to double up here because he can fly. I think your objective with this guy is try and get him to hit the ball in the air. He doesn't drive the ball.
Last time he grounded out to short, and it was a bang-bang play at first. 1-1 the count. Carmona has made 65 pitches so far today. 41 have been for strikes. Bourbon, oh my goodness, Mike Redmond just got nailed again.
This is incredible. The third time in an inning.
They can't bunt the ball into fair play. They keep fouling it back and nailing the Indians' backstop.
I mean, the crowd is even starting to feel sorry for him now.
All right, here's a look at all 3 of them in this inning.
First one off the hand. Second one off the knee. Third one,
I don't even want to speculate.
You make the call.
Wasn't good. 1-2 pitch. And did it stay in play?
Yes, it did.
They call it foul. It was in the box.
My goodness, that was a fair ball.
Mike Redmond's
I'm
arguing.
telling you, that was a fair ball. That ball was out in front of the box where that line comes to home plate. Mike Redmond is right. I'm almost positive because, and Manny Acta is going to come out and argue, that ball stayed in foul territory and Bourbon never left the box. I'm not, now you see, this may be a good time where you could use replay.
Well,
baseball. Let's take a look. This may be a tough angle, but it's out in front. Here it goes. Well, you can't tell from that angle.
It was in the box.
You can't tell from that angle there. Let's see.
I
want to see, but the foul ball line comes in. That's out in front of home plate. If it's out in front of the plate, it's in fair territory.
In the air, left field. Austin Kearns will make the catch. Maybe we've got an overhead view if we get a chance. We can take a look back. Two down, and the batter will be Michael Young with 2 on. Michael Young has struck out and popped out on the infield. Back to the mound. Will
Stop
it get
it.
through?
Oh,
Valbuena
no.
tried to flip it with the glove, and the Rangers will tie the game. If he just stops the
That's
ball,
exactly right. Bad play.
You keep the runners on the infield.
You know, that is a bad play, all things considered. He's trying to make the great, spectacular play on a backhanded flip when all you have to do is knock it down. You knock it down, you keep the runners on base, you would have the bases loaded. Now it goes as an infield single. They move to the corners. Not a good play there by Valbuena. Watch this. He's going to be able to get there, even if you don't get somebody, but he tries to flip it. Look at, and Carmona's upset. Cabrera wasn't even looking to begin with. Not a very smart play defensively. Your job as an infielder is to knock everything down, keep it on the infielder so the runners can't advance. He had a chance to do it, but did not, so we have a tie ball game.
And now Josh Hamilton 0 for 2 steps in, and it goes right back to the screen. Now it's up to Carmona to try to hold the Rangers at bay with 2 outs.
Well, did you see Fausto's, his reaction after that ball that happened right there? He knew he made a good pitch, and it got to, ground it out, and that's an excellent hitter. Not a good result for him.
1 ball, 1 strike. It gets by Redmond to the backstop. It goes. Texas takes the lead. On the wild pitch from Carmona, Elvis Andrus comes home to score. And down to second base goes Michael Young.
Well, just a tough pitch, that hard sinker. He's going to go in there, and it deflects off the heel of his glove and gets back. Oh, another wild pitch. I don't know what it is about it, but the Indians, they have got to lead the league already in wild pitches.
High pop into center, shallow center. Cabrera out. The shortstop will take it, and the inning is over. But Texas gets 2 runs gift wrapped and lead it 2-1. Steve
Absolutely
Smith, the Indians
right.
infield instructor.
I mean, yeah, you have to talk to him. That's a play that you just can't do. The one he tried, I mean, to help him out. Whatever happens after that, but you don't give up a run when you had an opportunity to just knock it down.
And as it stands now, Texas has a 2-1 advantage. Austin Kearns, Mike Redmond, Asdrubal Cabrera. Here in the home half of the 5th. Austin Kearns drew a walk his first time up. 1-1 the count. Just missed. 2 balls and a strike. High fly ball right field. Nelson Cruz. 1 away. Well, opening day, a sellout crowd and a few VIPs on hand as well. There's Mike Holmgren, the new president of the Cleveland Browns football team.
Yeah, enjoying a day of baseball.
Yeah, he's been busy since taking over in Berea. There's Mike Redmond. Probably happy to have a bat in his hand now after being
You know what he should do? He should try bunting a couple times to get Teagarden back. Because Teagarden got him twice.
Redmond was a human pinata.
Well, never seems to fail. After something like that happens, you always seem to hit the next inning as a catcher. You don't have time to go in and ice anything down. And catchers, boy, that's a tough position.
Redmond had an opposite field single his first time up. Back to the screen it goes and out of play. After the ball game, Channel 3 News at 6 with Ramona Robinson, Betsy Kling, and Jim Donovan. Then at 6:30, stay tuned for NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams. And then at 7 o'clock, it's Channel 3 News at 7 with Eric Mansfield and Monica Robbins. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Mike Redmond. Batting here in the home half of the 5th. Indians down a run now. Slow chopper hit to short. Andrus, plenty of time to throw him out. 2 down. And Rick and I will be back here on Channel 3 this Sunday for more Indians baseball when the Tribe wraps up an early season Central Division battle with Chicago. It's the White Sox and the Indians Sunday at 1 on Channel 3, your official Cleveland Indians station. Two down, bases empty for Asdrubal Cabrera, who is 0 for 2.
We've yet to have an Indian swing at the first pitch today against Harden. Just one?
Quickly 0-2 the count. Asdrubal lines it foul on the right side. Minnesota Twins opening their new ballpark, Target Field, today with a home game against the Boston Red Sox. They're underway in downtown Minneapolis. Outdoor baseball for the first time in over 20 years.
I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be great. I know people say it's Minneapolis, it's going to be cold, it's not going to be any different than it is here or in Chicago or any other place we go. And you're going to see the skyline and you're going to go, wow, so this is what it's like. Remember we used to walk into that dome, that forsaken dome, and you sit down and it's like you're in a warehouse.
Could be a beautiful day outside, but once you go in, no idea.
Yeah, it's nothing. I'll tell you what, it's going to be beautiful.
Struck him out looking. Boy, Rich Harden got the lead and went out and kept it that way for Texas. Indians go 1-2-3. He's retired 7 in a row. 2-1. Texas in front. 6th inning here at Progressive Field. Vladimir Guerrero to lead it off. And looks at a ball down low. Guerrero, Nelson Cruz, and Chris Davis for the Texas Rangers. Carmona about to make his 75th pitch of the day, has allowed
that's
2 runs.
Unfortunate. It really is. It's certainly could be better than that. A 2-run 5th inning he could have been out of.
One ball, 2 strikes. Vladimir Guerrero among active leaders is 5th in career batting average. Lifts this fly ball to center. Michael Brantley. 1 down. This recap is brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Shin Soo Choo's 2nd home run of the year. Put the Indians in front 1-0. Bottom of the 1st. Stayed that way until the 5th. Michael Young up the middle. Got an RBI single when Luis Valbuena couldn't handle it cleanly. And then the Rangers went ahead on a wild pitch by Fausto Carmona.
That wild pitch, by the way, gives the Indian staff 7, which does lead the league in that department.
7?
Not good, yes.
So they're on pace for 162.
Oh, boy. Quit projecting out. Well, I guess if you look at it that way, yes, go right ahead.
Bouncing ball foul. This scoreboard update brought to you by Wendy's. You know when it's real. Wendy's. It's a final in the Motor City where Kansas City beat up Detroit today 10-5. Meanwhile, Twins batting in the bottom of the 1st in their very first game at Target Field against the Boston Red Sox. The 1-2 pitch to Nelson Cruz is in the dirt. Indians will make their first visit to Target Field on their next road trip.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Ouch, got him. It sure did.
So Carmona has hit a batter for the first time today. And 1-on-1 out for Chris Davis.
This one gets away from him, up and in. It almost looks like it didn't get him solidly. I don't know if it got jersey or hip or what. Yeah, got him on the hip.
See a little poof of smoke when it hit his jersey. 7 hit batters for the Indians, so they've equaled their wild pitch number.
You know, to say the least, they've been a little wild in the first week of the season. Walks, hit batters, wild pitches. Not a good sign.
Back to the mound. Could be 2. There's 1. And Cabrera turns it. Fausto Carmona starts the inning ending 1-6-3 double play. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 Texas. Opening day here in Cleveland. The Indians will try to rally from behind. Michael Brantley will be the batter. Try to bunt his way aboard. It trickles foul. Thinking of this score reminds me of when you and I were in Chicago visiting with Bob Feller, talking about that opening day no-hitter. And remember, the first game here at Progressive Field was a game that somewhat similar to this, where the Indians trailed low scoring. In fact, they were being no-hit by Randy Johnson. And Rapid Robert was a little bit nervous as we got deeper into that ball game. But Sandy Alomar Jr. came to the rescue.
In the 8th inning, got a base hit.
And then it was Wayne Kirby. Did he score the winning run, or did he have the game-winning hit? Was it Eddie Murray that got the game-winning hit scoring Kirby?
Yeah, I think so. Kirby got the hit.
Kirby got the hit, okay. Yeah.
About the 11th inning. That was a long time ago.
Ground ball to second. Arias throws out Brantley, one down, and the Indians just cannot solve Rich Harden. Aerial coverage today provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. And our thanks to the spirit of Goodyear.
Great shot right there, huh?
Piloted by Mike Kinnett. And camera operated by Tom O'Keefe Jr.
There's a beauty. I may be up in that this year. Second voyage.
Bird's eye view, without a doubt.
Yes, it is. I remember the last time I went up in that blimp, Tommy hit a home run. I forget who we were playing here, but he hit a home run into the center field bleachers I saw from the blimp.
Shin-Soo Choo almost took Rich Harden with it to center field. Line shot to center. His second hit today. Only the 4th hit for the Indians, and their first since the 2nd inning.
Well, the one thing about it, Texas, I mean, in the first 6 games this year, their starting pitchers have been unbelievable. He gets another two-seam fastball. He undresses Harden off the mound. So Choo, half the hits. He's 2 for 4. And you can see he's got to duck and get out of the way. But back to the starting pitching for Texas. They're 2-0 as a team, but in their 37 2/3 inning, only 29 hits. They had 13 walks and 31 strikeouts coming into today's game, and Harden is adding to that. And I told you, this was the last guy to give up a home run in that staff, and that was some, 28 1/3 innings that they went before they hit their next one. So their starters have been very good.
First time through the rotation, +1, they had 5 quality starts. Harden's first start was the only one of their original rotation.
It was wild.
That wasn't a quality start, and he's well on his way to making this a quality start as that pitch goes inside to Hafner. And Ron Washington likes what he has seen so far from his rotation.
That's the one thing that made the Rangers a better team last year. They stabilized their pitching. Remember the year before when it was just horrendous in their bullpen. They went to the bullpen more than anybody else, so they needed to get some starting pitching. And they needed some distance and some length from their starters. They finally did get it.
Hafner with a drive deep right field, but it's going to hook foul.
Oh, boy, that's one of the best
the
balls.
Distance into the Bud Light party deck below.
That ball sounded like it came off the bat of Travis Hafner of old right there. He was trying to keep it fair with that body English, but no siree. Right down the line, tried to make it up to Pronkville. That ball was hit right on the nose.
2-1 pitch. Call to strike. Travis doesn't like it. Right-hander Dustin Nippert up loosening for Texas.
Then they ended up having some very good arms coming out of their bullpen. But they already have their closer, Francisco, who was supposedly their closer. He's no longer their closer anymore.
He was demoted. Neftali Feliz has taken over that role for now. We saw him last year. He was incredible.
Yeah, he was.
Right now, though, the Rangers have the 3-man shift on the right side for Pronk. And a throw back to first as Choo is able to get back easily. There you see that shift, and the outfielders shading Hafner the other way toward left center, which is where he hit the ball his first time up, walked. Or excuse me, he flied out to left his last time up. Throw back to first. And it was a very close play.
Well, Davis never held on to the ball. But even if he does, I think Chu would have got that hand right back on the base. See, he was thinking second base because the ball was in the dirt. Then realized, watch him go. Then realized, oh, there it is. I better get back. Well, see, he's searching for it. Never held on to the ball.
So with one out and a runner at first, the 3-2 pitch to Hafner. Fourth full count of the day. And it's low, ball 4.
Go, Chu.
Chu takes off finally, and he will go to third base.
Never put your head down. That was ball 4, so the ball's in play. If he throws it away, you can continue to run. He finally does that.
And now we've got a timeout as Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, is going to go out and talk with Rich Harden.
Watch, he puts his head down for a moment, realize, okay, it's ball 4. No, you can't. You got to pick up the baseball. He's able to go, and he does get to third base. That's a big play. Instead of first and second,
it's a tying run.
First and third. And one out.
So that'll go. Did they give the error to the
That's got to be the shortstop. Who was it? No, because the throw was right there.
It is the shortstop. I thought so, but you never know.
Well, that's true.
You're right. It did look like nothing wrong with the throw.
We've got the Kegler official score today. He's fine. He's good. He's not going to roll a gutter on game 1.
First and third, one out. Johnny Peralta will be the batter. Peralta bounced out to short his first time up, popped up on the infield his last time up. And a strike called to start the at-bat. Johnny looking to at least tie this game up with a fly ball to the outfield. There's a fly ball deep to right. Back goes Cruz, backpedaling. He'll make the catch. Tagging and coming home is Chu. Hafner scampers back to first, and we are tied at 2.
How big's that play right now? Getting to third base. It's a difference. Ties the game up.
Peralta with his 4th RBI on the year. Well, Johnny Peralta was looking for something he could elevate, right?
Well, that's right. He gets the breaking ball upstairs. A perfect pitch for Johnny to stay on and go to right center field like he likes to do. Anytime a pitch is elevated, it makes it so much easier to hit it in the air and to hit it the opposite way. So that mistake there by Andrus not catching that ball on the walk, Indians take advantage of it.
Matt Laporta 0 for 2. He has flied to center twice today. Bounced it in front. Hafner will go down to second. Travis got a great jump.
Well, that ball looked like it hit out in the just off the grass and in the dirt as well. Didn't look like Teagarden had any chance of stopping that ball. Watch how far in front of the plate this one lands. I mean, where do you do? He tried to get down in front of it and ends up coming up and hitting him up in the upper arm. So there's the go-ahead run now in scoring position.
And the 1-1 to Laporta. Checked on the ball down low. He did not go, says Jim Wolf. Nelson Cruz has a good arm in right field. So even if Laporta should single that way, if he rifles it there, he could have a play at the plate. 2-1 pitch. He hammers it right field near the line, slicing into the corner. And a foul ball.
Oh, boy. That wind pushed it down. Blowing in from right center field, really going to put a little more movement on that pitch. Or on the ball going down the line. It was close.
We're back to even here at Progressive Field, 2-2. In the bottom of the 6th inning. Johnny Peralta with the sac fly driving home Shin-Soo Choo. Laporta trying to break the tie here for the Indians with 2 down. And why not? The Indians have been masterful so far this year at scoring with 2 outs. Harden's 2-2 pitch. Line drive single to center field. Hafner coming around third. Bourbone's throw to the plate. And he is out at the dish. Taylor Teagarden held on. And we are still tied at 2. Laporta tried to deliver Hafner with the go-ahead run, but the Indians fall short. We're knotted up after 6. Seventh inning here at Progressive Field. Tie game, 2-2 our score. Joaquin Arias, Taylor Teagarden, Elvis Andrus will bat here in the 7th inning for Texas, bottom third of their lineup. But they have accounted for both Rangers' runs here today. Andrus scored the other. 0-2 the count from Fausto Carmona. Weak ground ball hit to short. Cabrera guns it over in a hurry to get Arias 1 down. Well, this is a play that Cleveland Browns president Mike Holmgren probably loved to see. Who says baseball is not a contact sport, huh?
Well, 2 outs. You're going all the way. You know you're going to send him. Bourbon comes up and makes a nice throw. Watch it. 1 hopper. Gets it to Teagarden, and he's able to get the baseball and secure it before the big prong comes in and hits him. And he did throw him out. Good play. You know you're going to send him. That's why you always have to say, get a good jump at second base.
There's Mike Holmgren. Probably like the form Hafner showed, lowering the shoulder.
I think he was taking notes after that, wasn't he?
Taylor Teagarden has struck out twice today. Unbelievable. That's the 4th time Mike Redmond has been nailed by a foul ball today.
Look at him. He's got to talk to Teagarden.
3 times it's been because of Taylor Teagarden.
Well, like we said, and that's off the shoulder. It's just tough to center on Carmona pitch, and I guess the guy that pays the price most of the time is the catcher. We may go in to the clubhouse after the game tonight. If he's not submerged in an ice pool, he will have 14 ice bags around arms, elbows, knees, ankles.
Well, so far today, it's been the thumb, the knee, the shoulder, and somewhere else very sensitive. Little tapper, it's going to stay foul. One down, 7th inning. Two. Missed inside, full count. Three balls, 2 strikes. The number 9 hitter, Elvis Andrus, waiting on deck. Carmona's payoff pitch. And he walked him. Well, while we have a moment, let's send you back to the studios for an in-game update. Dave Chudowski has the first runs ever scored at Target Field.
Matt, that is right. History made today at Target Field in Minnesota. Here we go. Michael Kadire, bottom of 1 off John Lester. That's a single to score Denard Span to make it 1-0. Right now it's 2-0 in the second. Back to you.
That'll go down. That'll be a trivia question here. Who got the first hit? You know, who scored the first run? And
Michael Kadire and Denard Span linked forever in Twins lore. Elvis Andrus, 2 walks and a run scored today. 93rd pitch of the day for Carmona. And it's called a ball. Carmona's got to make Andrus hit his way on. He hasn't even shown any interest in swinging the bat yet today.
There are times where some pitchers just have a tough time to a certain hitter throwing them strikes, and today it just happened to have been Andrus.
Bounces it behind the bag. Peralta can't hold it. And the runner will hold at second base, Teagarden. So first and second with 1 out.
Well, another tough break. Right here off the end of the glove. You know, I want to see it again because maybe Peralta could have caught that ball. Goes off the end of his glove. I'm not saying get a double play, but there it is. It's a nice hop. That's a catchable ball in my eyes. And I'm surprised that, Teagarden didn't try to go to third base there.
And it's ruled a hit by the official score. So
well,
2 on, 1 out.
It wasn't an easy play, but it's certainly a catchable ball.
Julio Bourbon steps in 0 for 3. Carmona's in a jam now. 95th pitch of the day is high, ball 1. Fausto nearing the end of the line for his day of work. 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike to even the count.
It's almost like the two guys, Andrus and Bourbon, they're not swinging until they take a strike from Fausto. Tony Sipp up, loose, ready to go in the Indians bullpen.
The 1-1. Little number foul, third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, we said it before, Bourbon, not a guy who is easy to double up. But that's certainly what Carmona could use right here to get out of this mess. A comebacker got him out of the 6th. This one's lined to center. Brantley coming hard, still coming, dives, makes the catch. Oh, a terrific diving grab by Michael Brantley in center field. And the runners retreat, 2 down. Well, the wind was pushing it back
Yes,
toward the
it
infield.
was. That's why you can cheat a little bit more as an outfielder. But Michael got a good jump, continued to come. It wasn't hit that hard, so just got to make sure he gets in there and makes the play.
Let's pause and let stations identify themselves. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Opening day here in Cleveland. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you. 2-2 our score. Rangers batting top of the 7th, 2 on, 2 out. Pitching coach Tim Belcher, after a conversation with Carmona, heads back to the Indians dugout. Fausto at 98 pitches on the day. Left-hander Tony Sipp ready in the bullpen. Left-handed hitters now, Tommy Boe tells me, are 0 for 18 against Carmona to start the year.
Wow. That's sinker sinking, isn't it?
Well, that's interesting because remember a year ago the left-handed hitters.
He had trouble getting inside the left-handers, and, you know, that's one of the problems he had. Beautiful
Michael Young
job.
bounces it to second. Valbuena throws him out, and a great job by Fausto Carmona to get out of a 2-on, 1-out jam. We stay tied at 2, stretch time in Cleveland. For a list of all their locations, visit paninisgrill.com.
Paninis, that sounds good right about now, doesn't it?
Yes, indeed. 2 runs allowed by Fausto Carmona. 2 runs allowed by Rich Harden. Harden's out of the ball game. You got to figure Carmona's day is over as well.
Yeah, that's why you got to get him a run here like they did in Chicago, where he can hang on and try and get a win. He pitched very well as well. Him going 7 innings, but for Rich Harden, yeah, there you go. You want to talk about a quality start. He gives you one. 6 innings, 5 hits, a couple of runs. He walked 3, struck out 2. Dustin Nippert comes on now.
3 walks, couple of strikeouts. Luis Valbuena looks at a first pitch strike. Swung on and missed. Valbuena out on strikes in the 2nd inning, and then a grounder to first back in the 4th. Low and away for ball 1. Valbuena, then Austin Kearns and Mike Redmond scheduled for the Indians here in the 7th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Off day tomorrow here in Cleveland. And then this series will resume Wednesday night. Tapper by the mound. Arias on the move. Throws out Valbuena, one down. Scott's Turf Builder delivers a lush lawn from the roots on up. Hurry in to get your free Scott's MLB Fan Guide exclusively at Lowe's.
Well, we'll have tomorrow off. You have an opportunity to get some of your landscaping done. You know, always the snow day. They schedule that off day after a home opener in case you have rain or snow. So tomorrow could be a day you can unpack and do whatever you want.
Austin Kearns drives one into the left center field gap. This will go to the fence. And Kearns into second base with a one-out double, representing the go-ahead run.
Looked like he jumped all over a hanging breaking ball right here. He wasn't going to spot him anything. It's a hanging curveball in the middle of the plate. Because when you throw pitches like this is why they get hit hard. Look at that. Boom. Right there, top of the strike zone. Austin Kearns did some damage to it. Hit it in the left center field. The first double of the afternoon for the Indians, and that is their 6th hit. They have now out-hit the Rangers 6-5, but that's the all-important run out there here in the bottom half of the 7th.
Now we'll see if Mike Redmond can bring him home. Redmond 1 for 2. He singled back in the 2nd inning. If there's any justice in this game, he should get a hit right here because he's been hit by himself by the ball a number of times today. 4 times to be exact. He's been nailed by foul tips.
Before he gets a hit, he should foul one off the other catcher, though. That's what I say.
Hanging breaking ball, but fouled out of play.
Yeah, he got away with that one. That one might have been a little above the strike zone that he got away with. A little too high. That's why it was fouled off. See, that's up in the numbers. If that was down a little bit more, Redmond would have jumped on it. But you have to swing at it because it looks so good, and it's just spinning up there. It says, hit me on it.
1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out here in the 7th. Shoots it foul the other way. Into the club seats it goes. Sold out house here on opening day in Cleveland. Manny Acta in his first game as manager here at Progressive Field for the Indians. His club went 2-4 on their first road trip, within a blown save of finishing that trip 3-3.
Right, that's exactly right. Of coming home and feeling pretty good about yourself.
Now the 1-2. Fastball right back to the screen. Spectacular aerial pictures all day long, courtesy of the Spirit of Goodyear. Piloted by Mike Kinnett, Tom O'Keefe running the camera.
Sit around in the offseason, you never think you'll be back here looking at that shot again or back here for opening day, but this is the start of one of 81 home games. The grass is green.
Popped it up on the infield. First baseman Davis takes it, 2 down.
Well, Indians marquee matchup 6-packs are now on sale. You can get ticket to 2 Yankees games, 2 Red Sox games, a Mets game, and an Angels game for as low as $54. Plus, you'll get a free 7th ticket to any game versus the New York Yankees. They're in for a homestand. So visit Indians.com and get more information.
Ron Washington may want to spin Asdrubal Cabrera around to the other side of the plate.
Right. I think you're right. He's taking the slow walk out there, isn't he?
And he will make a move to the bullpen. He wants the left-hander to come on and face Asdrubal Cabrera. Force Asdrubal to have to bat from the right side. Indians have the go-ahead run. Opening day here at Progressive Field. Left-hander Darren Oliver coming on to work now for the Rangers.
Well, another guy that left the Anaheim Angels and had a great year. This is his third stint with the Texas Rangers. He appeared in the club's first 3 games. And this guy's a workhorse, and what's he, 39 years old?
He just keeps pitching.
You know, and just keeps rolling, man. And he comes in tough situations. It seems like he's like a fine wine. He just keeps getting better and better. He's a matchup guy, so they'll switch Cabrera over. And now remember, you've got the left-hander Brantley on deck, even with first base open. So this guy's smart enough where he's not going to give in and shouldn't give Cabrera too much to hit here in this situation.
As Drubal 0 for 3 today. Struck out his last time out. And now after all of that, Darren Oliver has to talk to Taylor Teagarden.
Well, he wants to make sure not the regular everyday catcher that he's used to throwing to, I'm sure.
39 years old. He just keeps rolling along Old Man River. And a first pitch strike to Cabrera.
Well, they're back in their comfort zone. 2 outs, man in scoring position. The last time it happened, but you got the base hit from Laporte in the 6th inning. Hafner was on second base. He was thrown out at home plate on a good throw by Bourbon. That cost the Indians a run there. And a difference in this ball game.
Missed inside. 2 balls and a strike.
See, this guy knows how to pitch. He teases hitters. He never gives in. He appeared in 8 of the 9 playoff games for the Angels last year. And I mean, that's, you would think as a matchup guy, Mike Scioscia, who loves guys like that, that's going to hurt the Angels. We'll see.
Bangs it foul wide of third, 2-2. What's impressive to me about guys like Darren Oliver is that he knows when he comes into a game, he's got to have it right now. He can't take 5 or 6 pitches to find it. He can't take 2 or 3 hitters to find it because he's only going to be in there and some nights to face 1 hitter, maybe 2 at the most. And yet consistently he's able to do that.
You're right. He's going to give it up just like every other pitcher does, but more times than not, or at least when we see him, he seems to get the job done.
Cabrera bounces out to second base, and we'll go to the 8th inning, still tied at 2. Now tied at 2, 8th inning here at Progressive Field. One way or another, looks like we're headed for another dramatic finish for the second day in a row. Josh Hamilton back to the hill.
Beautiful.
Carmona with an easy flip. 1 down.
You can take a break from the busy work week and head here for lunch in 3 innings. That'll be Thursday. You get a ticket for the Tribe Rangers game. It's a 12:05 start plus $10 in food credit, all just for $15. And don't leave after 3. Stay for the whole game. Call 216-4206 or 420-HITS for tickets.
That comebacker that Carmona fielded was the 100th pitch of the game for him.
I'm surprised he's back out here, man. I thought after he got out of last inning, he might be done, but I like it.
Just now getting some activity in the Indians' bullpen. I believe that is the right-hander Jamie Wright.
You're absolutely correct.
The 1-0 pitch to Guerrero. In at his feet, 2-0. Guerrero singled his first time up. Since then, he has grounded to third, flied to center. There's Jamie Wright. And the 2-0 pitch. Popped foul, back out of play. 2-1 the count. Glad to have you with us for opening day here in Cleveland. 42,061. The official attendance. Evens up at 2-2. Off day tomorrow, and then the Indians and Rangers will resume this series Wednesday night. We'll have it for you on Sports Time Ohio beginning at 7 o'clock. Justin Masterson against left-hander C.J. Wilson. And I'll be interested to see that game because Wilson was dynamite out of the bullpen, and he's now been converted to a starter. And then this series wraps up, while we're speaking about it, on Thursday. It's a 12:05 start. So if you're locked up at work, set the DVR before you head out. 12:05 start Thursday, Indians Rangers on Sports Time Ohio.
Grab a little lunch, get a little meal ticket, and have some fun. Watch some day baseball.
Just outside, full count. Guerrero with Nelson Cruz to follow. Fausto's payoff pitch. Did he go?
They're not going to call.
They appeal. He did not go.
Nope.
And a walk to Guerrero with 1 out puts the go-ahead run at first. This was that two-seam fastball that bears in on that right-hander.
Oh, he
was
held
a good
up.
call.
That's exactly right. It looked worse, but you know he's got so many moving parts when he swings. It's tough to tell, but he didn't even come close. So walk number 4 for Fausto.
And he will stay on to face Nelson Cruz. 107 on the pitch count for Carmona. The pitch count seems to be a real hot button topic for fans, especially fans who remember the days when there was no pitch count. But it's a fact of life for today's players in the current game of baseball, whether you like it or not. Cruz lifts it in the air, right field. Here's Chu. 2 down. Once again, an in-game update with Dave Chudowski. He's got the latest on the Twins.
Yeah, Matt, you guys said you like the fact that the Twins have moved outside. They seem to like it as well. Joe Mauer and that big contract. How about a big double here in the second inning to score Nick Puto to make it 3-0. That's the score in the third. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Dave. 2 on with 1 out. Chris Davis will be the batter. Davis 0 for 3. I liked what Bob Feller said at the luncheon that we attended in Chicago. He said if they'd have had me on a pitch count early in my career, I would have made it out of the third inning.
He's right.
But times have changed, and there's medical information and data and statistics piled up that support the theories, and that's why we have pitch counts, and that's why guys.
And there's stressful pitch counts in games, and there's some that aren't so stressful. And Carmona hasn't had a lot of stress in his games today. He seemed to be free and easy. Hasn't had to work out of a lot of trouble. Seems like he's been ahead in a lot of counts. And you're doing this against a pretty darn good lineup. I'll tell you what, they shouldn't have 2 runs, period. Carmona should be better off than what he is right now. A little help from his defense, and he could be much better off.
Yeah, he could be working on the shutout still.
When Fausto gets ahead in the count, he's been ahead 8 times.
Runner goes in the air left field.
That'll get it done.
Kearns.
Great job, Fausto.
Makes the catch. Fausto Carmona. 8 solid innings of work here today. And we are still tied at 2.
Oh, yeah.
Chu sends a drive. Deep to right. Cruz back. He's out of room. It's out of here. Shin-Soo Chu's homer staked the Indians to an early 1-0 lead. But the Rangers came back to take a 2-1 advantage before the Indians came back in the 6th to tie the game at 2. Michael Brantley leads off the home half of the 8th. The Indians then had the potential go-ahead run thrown out at the plate when Travis Hafner tried to score on a 2-out single by Matt Laporta. But Bourbon with a great throw to home plate, and Taylor Teagarden braced himself and hung on after Hafner tried to steamroll him at the dish. That's the only reason that we're still tied. 1-1 pitch. Fouled back. Michael Brantley 0 for 3 today. Great job by Fausto Carmona. 111 pitches in his 8 innings of work here today.
Yes, indeed. He was very good.
This is still a very good Rangers lineup, even without the services of Ian Kinsler. And to hold them to 2 runs on 5 hits. Excellent job. Chris Perez, you see him loosening. Struck him out looking. Darren Oliver has retired the only 2 he's faced. For an in-depth review of this week's action and a look at what lies ahead for the Tribe, watch Indians Tonight on WKYC Channel 3. Get highlights, player interviews, and much more. Indians Tonight, Sunday nights at 11:30 on KYC Channel 3, your official Cleveland Indians station. Shin-Soo Chu, 2 hits. He has scored both Indians runs. His homer in the first, and then he singled and came around to score the tying run in the 6th inning.
And that was a weird play in its own right,
You're
because
right.
he was off and running on a 3-2 count when Travis Hafner was hitting. Travis took ball 4. Teagarden threw it down to second base. And in turn, while Chu was there, it was ball 4, so he didn't slide. He sort of stopped. Elvis Andrus, the shortstop, missed the ball, deflected off his glove. He went in. Chu picked it up, ended up going to third base, and that really hurt him.
Came around and scored on a sac fly by Johnny Peralta.
Yeah, so they ended up giving the Indians a run. So a couple of times, both teams have scored from lack of defense in an inning.
2 balls, no strikes to Shin-Soo Choo. Darren Oliver with a 2-0 delivery. Gets it over for a strike. Breaking ball, and he got the outside corner, just dropped it right over. 2-2 the count. He's been doing it a long time. Chu lines one toward left field. Josh Hamilton got turned around. It's over his head. Glances off his glove. And Chu is into second base with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. He got turned around. And once you have to turn around as an outfielder, it's awfully tough to pick it back up, especially coming off the left-hander's bat. It'll be moving away from you, and that wind's going to push it. Watch how he has to turn. Once you turn your back to the infield, he broke in on it. Chu's got a little more pop than that. He was fooled on the swing. And that's a tough recovery when you're an outfielder, man. You know you screwed up when you break in. It'll go as a double, I think. Yes, it will.
Yes,
so there
indeed.
you go, man. There's the go-ahead run.
Well, now a chance for Travis Hafner with the shift on. Oliver gets it over the outside corner for a strike. You'll notice Andrus, the shortstop, he's still on the shortstop side of the bag, trying to keep Shin-Soo Choo from just bolting over to third. Hafner slicing it foul, out of play the other way, 0-2 the count.
Wind's starting to howl a little bit too, isn't it?
It's been blowing in all day, but you're right. It seems to be picking up in intensity here the last 15, 20 minutes. Darren Oliver, the 39-year-old left-hander, looks in on the 2-strike pitch to Hafner. Swung on and missed. Boy, is that a big strikeout for Oliver and the Rangers, 2 down. Aerial coverage provided all day long by the Goodyear blimp, the Spirit of Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. And special thanks to pilot Mike Kinnett and camera operator Tom O'Keefe Jr., providing terrific aerial views all day long of what has been a beautiful day here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. Mike Maddox, pitching coach, out to talk with Oliver. The right-handed hitting Johnny Peralta will be the batter. Go-ahead run at second base with 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Peralta drove in the tying run with a sacrifice fly in the 6th inning. Frank Francisco, erstwhile Rangers closer. Inside ball 1 to Peralta. Johnny, line drive, just foul wide of third.
Well, they're trying to pound him inside there, and you can see where Young is on the line. You're going to have to hit, a bullet to get it by him if you hit it on the ground.
Good breaking ball. Wrapped it over the outside corner. 1-2 the count.
Well, that's what happens when you get a hitter looking to the inside part of the plate. First one's that little cutter or slider inside. Second one, Johnny hits and just misses foul. Then he wraps that old breaking ball around the outside part of the plate, the backdoor breaking ball, and hits with it.
Oliver's 1-2. Inside off the plate.
You see, you keep that hitter from leaning out over the plate, just with the purpose pitch is right there. And it didn't have to be for a strike, but he's certainly making Johnny aware that he can use the inside part of the plate.
Go ahead run at second base. Chu takes off. 2-2 pitches down low. So now he's 90 feet away with the stolen base.
Yeah, well, they don't care about that. Here again, you see the middle infielders are back. They're more concerned to the hitter. They got 2 strikes on the hitter. They want the out. They don't care about Chu right now. But now the defense has to make the play. That's all on the infield. Can't boot a ball, and you don't want to throw a wild pitch.
Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Darren Oliver fans the side, and the double does no damage. 8 complete, still tied at 2. Has made the AT&T call to the bullpen, bringing in Chris Perez. Your call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T, a better 3G experience. Perez fresh off the blown save in Detroit.
Well, what do they want to do? They want to bring him right back into the game to get him back on track. Had back-to-back saves in Chicago.
I think they got crossed up there. 2-0 the count as Redmond goes out. One note on Fausto Carmona's performance today. 19 of the batters that he faced today were 3 pitches or less.
Wow, that's how you can go 8 innings.
Yeah.
You know, that's a beautiful thing. If you can, when you're a sinker baller and, 3 pitches or less, boy, that you go deep into a lot of games like that over the course of the year.
Make them put the ball in play.
Let your defense go to work. Something that Chris Perez has better start doing. That was his downfall yesterday, was finding the strike zone. It's not starting out very well today.
There's a strike right down the pike. I mentioned earlier, off day tomorrow here in Cleveland, so we've got minor league baseball when the Clippers of Columbus take on the Louisville Bats. Coverage starts at 6:30 tomorrow night, live from Columbus right here on STO. Full count. Shoots it back foul. The payoff pitch. Popped in the air, right center field. Long run for Chu and Brantley, and it's going to hit the base of the wall. And Arias pulls into second base with a double. That ball carried a long way.
I was going to ask you, to me, that ball looked like it. You look at the wind coming in, but it seemed like those guys could never converge on it. That thing just kept going, unless that was hit a heck of a lot harder than we thought. I mean, because it plugged the gap, no doubt. I was expecting it to die a little bit out in right center field watching the wind blow in, but it seemed to carry a little bit. Look at them. They're continuing to go. That surprised me. Right to the base of the wall. That's a long way against the wind. Well, anyway, it is a leadoff double. The very first of the year for Arias, and back comes Texas.
Taylor Teagarden 0 for 2. You got to expect him to be bunting here. He does not have a hit on the year.
Well,
14.
Watch out, Mike Redmond. He tried earlier in the game, and he beat up the catcher. He better get the barrel head of the bat out front. There you go.
Back to the mound it goes. Perez goes to third, wide throw, and Cabrera couldn't hold it.
Now, that's not a good play by Perez because it's not a force play. It's a tag play. He's got to get an out in this situation because you're at the bottom part of the lineup. He had to make, just a perfect throw. Everything had to be perfect. And for me, the play is get yourself the out. The guy moves to third base. Then you bring the infield in. Instead, now look, see, you're going to throw to the shortstop who's on the run, and it's got to be a perfect throw. So the odds are not in your favor, and they certainly turned out that way because now it's first and third. It'll go as a sacrifice and then a fielder's choice. There's certain things you have to accept in this game, and get your out when they're going to give it to you.
Pitch outside to Elvis Andrus, ball one. He is 1 for 1 officially on the day. Couple of walks and a run scored. Two balls, no strikes. Tony Sipp loosening it again in the Indians' pen. Three and 0. And he walked him. That's the third time the number 9 hitter, Elvis Andrus, has walked today, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. And here comes Manny Acta. He's going to make a move right now. So the Rangers have it all set up now. Bases loaded, nobody out. Tony Sipp coming on when we come back. to take control of the game now. Chris Perez allowed a leadoff double. And then the bunt by Taylor Teagarden. Perez tried to go to third to get the out there. Was a little bit off the mark with the throw. And then walked Elvis Andrus. So he's out of the game, and Tony Sipp's in. And talk about being thrown into the fire. That's the situation for Tony Sipp, who's already walked 3 in 2 1/3 innings of relief.
I can see exactly what Manny Acton was trying to do here. You know, you bring a guy in, he struggled yesterday with control. He come into a tie game after 8 very good innings by Carmona. And you want to get Perez back on track. Okay, the double's no big deal. He had the kid hit it a ton. Worked his way on. He tried to go make a play that he probably should have just taken the out on when they get to third base. And I think that shook him up a little bit. Now they have the bases loaded, and you've got your work cut out for you. The infield coming into the cut of the grass. And look who's pinch hitting. You got Ryan Garko coming on to pinch hit for Bourbon.
So Ryan Garko will get the pinch hit assignment here. Infield in, cut of the grass around the horn. Swung on and missed. Garko went to camp with the Seattle Mariners this year. We saw him in spring training. But he was waived by the Mariners late in camp and caught on with the Texas Rangers right before the start of the season. Garko is a hitter during his time in Cleveland. When he was going well, he was taking the ball to the opposite field. Up high, 1-1. Minnesota continues to lead Boston 4-1, bottom of the 4th at brand new Target Field in Minneapolis, the inaugural game there. Kansas City whipped Detroit earlier today, 10-5. 1-1 pitch. Garko pops it up on the infield. Valbuena says, "I'll take it." He does. 1 down.
This is where you're going to have to earn your money here, trying to get this guy out. He went inside and jammed him. And I mean, look at, got right in on his fist. Fly ball, couldn't get it out of the infield, right on the trademark infield fly rule. Valbuena catches it, so there's out number 1, but this is going to be a tough one here.
Michael Young, 1 for 4, drove in a run back in the 5th inning.
Well, yeah, it was given an RBI. It should have been. It's where Valbuena had that play, keep the ball on the infield, or knock it down. He tried to make a flip and tried to make a terrific play when he just should have caught it and held it.
And we're going to get another move to the bullpen right here. So Tony Sipp on to face one hitter. And now Manny Acta is going to go to Jamie Wright. So we've got a timeout. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the 9th. Still tied at 2. Right-hander Jamie Wright coming on to face Michael Young. With Michael Young and then the left-handed hitting Josh Hamilton. Texas 1 out of 12 with a runner in scoring position on the day.
Well, what you're looking for, it'd be great to get that double play ball. Certainly what they're going to look for. They can fall back at the middle of the diamond. But remember, now Michael Young goes the other way, so normally your second baseman will play him a little more into the hole than they will to double play depth. Carmona really did a nice job on this guy today. Although he was credited with a base hit and an RBI, that RBI was the bonus. But he did a nice job of staying inside on him and not letting him allowing him to extend and get out there and slap it to right field like he normally does.
Jamie Wright delivers. Young, ground ball
Got
up
it.
the middle. Cabrera will take it himself, and he turns two. Jamie Wright, like a magician, pulls the rabbit out of the hat, and the Rangers leave him loaded here in the ninth. Indians to get out of that mess as David Murphy takes over for Josh Hamilton in left field. Josh Hamilton, meanwhile, moves to center field. And now the new pitcher is Frank Francisco. Now, Francisco had been closing for the Rangers, but he's already had his problems early in the season.
Blew a couple of save opportunities.
He's given up 6 runs over 1 total inning in his last 2 outings and suffered the blown save in each of those contests.
Well, certainly a guy they're going to need this year for that bullpen. You know, isn't it something? You start out, he has a good year, becomes the closer. Next thing you know, you come out of the chute to start the year, you blow a couple games, and you're no longer the closer.
And they say games in April don't mean that much?
Yes, they do, boy. I'll tell you what. It makes a manager decide on, what's going to happen, especially in Washington's case with his situation. They're going to give him a short leash.
Matt Laporta, Luis Valbuena, Austin Kearns here in the ninth for the Indians, tied at 2. Laporta fouls it away. By the way, Tony Sipp and Jamie Wright combined for 3 outs on 4 pitches.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Well, and you look at it, how aggressive was this Texas team today? With Carmona, you said 18 hitters, 3 pitches or less?
19.
19.
Yeah, 3 pitches or less. Line drive. Oh, what a grab by Andrus at short. That was ticketed for left field. And Andrus somehow went up and snared it in the webbing.
Boy, that was a great timed play there by Elvis Andrus. I mean, that ball right on the nose. You're thinking, oh my goodness, that's going to start base hit. Boy, he saves you. And when you think about it, that saves the pitcher, who all of a sudden, if that's a base hit, you start thinking, here we go again. Now you make an out and you're saying, okay, let's go. Another one right at him.
Valbuena looks at a ball outside. Luis Valbuena 0 for 3 today. And a strike called to even the count at 1-1. That's too low. Bottom of the ninth inning. One out. Valbuena in a 2-1 count. And Francisco took a little something off to even the count at 2-2. Valbuena with a high fly ball. Deep right field. Cruz on the front edge of the warning track pulls it down. And that is out number 2. And it's interesting when you think back to the last inning when Arias hit the ball that didn't sound off the bat like he hit it as well as that one, and it hit the base of the fence. That ball died before it even got to the front edge of the warning track. Well, our player of the game today, Fausto Carmona. 8 solid innings of work. 111 pitches. He had 11 ground ball outs, and he held the left-handed hitters to a combined 0 for 12. A strike called to Austin Kearns, who doubled his last time up. Fouled off his front foot. 0-2 the count. Well, unless something dramatic happens, we could be headed to extra innings here. Up and in. 1-2 the count. They're packed on the home run porch. Hoping for a game winner here in the bottom of the ninth. In the dirt. Count back to even at 2 balls and 2 strikes for Austin Kearns, who was in the lineup today with Grady Sizemore shelved with tightness in his back. Michael Brantley moving to center, and that opening up a spot for Kearns to be in the lineup today. Texas outfield is deep. No doubles
yes,
defense.
Indeed. They're about as deep as you can get.
Frank Francisco with a 2-2 pitch. Full count. Three balls, 2 strikes. Mike Redmond waits on deck. And the 3-2. Right back to the screen.
Kearns giving up a pretty good at-bat here. Made a nice diving catch earlier in the ball game in left field to get out of the inning after the player before that hit a triple. Nelson Cruz off his glove. He might have been able to catch, but then makes the diving catch to get out of the inning.
The payoff pitch. Foul back. Well, I know it's only a few games into the season. We haven't seen a ton of Austin Kearns, but you mentioned it. He puts up a quality at bat.
He battles you. Yes, he does. Well, Manny has an idea. He played for him in Washington. So, when you have a guy that you get to see and you know how he approaches the game and goes after it day in and day out, I'm sure that's why they signed him to a minor league contract. This guy had to come to spring training and fight his way to make this ball club. He's a right-handed bat. They could use that.
Again, the 3-2. Swung out and missed. So Francisco strikes him out, sets him down 1-2-3. And we've got extra innings on opening day. We are tied at 2. Josh Hamilton, Vladimir Guerrero, Nelson Cruz for the Rangers. Jamie Wright, who got the double play ball to get out of the bases loaded jam in the 9th inning, will stay on now to work the 10th. Hamilton 0 for 4 on the afternoon so far. Broke the bat, but he bangs it through the other side for a leadoff single. Let's pause now for station identification. You're watching Cleveland Indians baseball. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you here at Progressive Field, where here in the 10th inning, Texas has their leadoff man aboard now for Vladimir Guerrero. And Guerrero goes after the first pitch. Michael Brantley cruising over in center field to make the catch, one away. Boy, they are aggressively going after Jamie Wright.
Yes,
They're not wasting any time.
They've been aggressive all day long. I mean, they're attacking the baseball. They're looking early to get after it. Remember, this Texas team last year was a team that struck out a ton of times. It was between them and Tampa, I think, that led the league. Indians are right there behind those two teams. But you're right. They're getting after it. They're swinging early and often.
Nelson Cruz, 1 for 3.
You're going to face other teams. Unlike when you go to New York or you go to Boston, you are going to face discipline.
Runner goes.
Forget about it.
Hamilton nearly slid off the bag, but he holds the foot on for the steal. Third of the game for Texas. And a perfect 3 for 3.
He just had a terrific jump. That's all there is to it. I mean, off and running, and you can see Cruz hitting. I'm not even going to take it, but this is a guy you got to be careful with. Cruz.
High drive, deep left field, and she is gone.
Yeah, that's this guy.
Nelson Cruz with a 2-run homer, and the Rangers lead it 4-2. Already the 5th home run this year for Nelson Cruz, and it gives him 11 runs batted in on the year for Texas.
Well, he's turning into really a premier power hitter in this league. And, you know, if you do anything, if you miss, you got to miss in off the plate. This kid is opened up, perched, ready to just launch at it, and he did. He put a good swing on it. People were looking like, well, it may not go out. No, a big man hit that ball, hit a long way. And now Texas will take a 4-2 lead.
And now Chris Davis looks at a ball 0 for 4 today. Two balls, no strikes. That's only the second hit of the day for Texas with a runner in scoring position. They had been 1 for 13 before that homer by Cruz with a runner at second base. Called a strike, 2-2 the count. So Jamie Wright got out of a colossal jam in the 9th inning. But here in the 10th, the 2-run homer has put Texas in front. We're looking ahead to the bottom of the 10th inning. You got Mike Redmond scheduled to lead off as Drupal Cabrera and then Michael Brantley. And Neftali Feliz warming for the Rangers. Bounced it in there, full count. Swing and a miss, dropped by Redmond. He'll pick it up and throw him out, 2 down. With 2 down, the batter will be Joaquin Arias, who is 2 for 4 on the afternoon. Doubled his last time up in the 9th. Caught the outside corner. Minnesota continues to lead Boston 4-1 in the first ever game at Target Field in Minneapolis. Bouncer to short. Cabrera throws him out. We'll go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Tribe will have to rally down 4-2. in the last of the 10th against Neftali Feliz, who has already given up more in the first 3 games this year than he gave up in a month, I think, last year.
He couldn't do any better than last year. He could only do worse. He's only 21. He's got an outstanding arm. And, you know, this guy, he's now moved into their closer's role. And it's going to be interesting to see because he has yet to pitch back-to-back days in the big leagues in his career yet. Now, when you're a closer, and let's say you go into a tough market, whether it's Boston, New York, or wherever it is, and you go in there and the chance for the save on the line, we'll see what happens. But this kid has an outstanding arm. You know, no telling, maybe someday could be a quality starter. They were thinking about doing that this year to him, but he ended up coming out of spring training. Made his Major League debut over the final 2 months of last season, posting a 1.74 ERA. Held opponents to a 124 batting average.
Mike Redmond looks at ball 1. Neftali Feliz last year struck out his first 4 batters that he faced in the major leagues. The first pitcher to do that since 1962.
Well, when you look at this kid, it's an easy 97 and 98. He just reaches back. Those first 2 pitches. First one was 97. Watch, but next one's 98. It's an easies. It's not a maximum effort. I mean, that has some giddy up to it.
Last year, he also matched Nolan Ryan's team record by striking out 7 consecutive hitters at one point. Got him looking at the knees. Perfect pitch. 1 down. Bring up Asdrubal Cabrera. Asdrubal Cabrera 0 for 4 here this afternoon. Man looks at a strike. Asdrubal has hit in every Indians game up to this point. But he'll need a knock right here to keep that streak alive. Stay tuned for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show coming up after the ball game. Called a strike. Asdrubal didn't like the call, and it did appear to be a little bit low.
I don't want to say anything. It may have sounded low because that one registered on this gun here. I don't know if it's fast or not, but it was 101.
Back to the screen. 1-2 the count. Well, the Rangers certainly must feel like they did as well as they could do when they traded Mark Teixeira to Atlanta and getting Neftali Feliz. Boy, it was only part of the package, but just the fact that they got this guy alone is pretty good return.
Well, that kid playing shortstop out there, they got in that deal too. Another young kid. You're looking at a possible closer and a possible everyday shortstop for quite some time. A catcher they also got into that deal. And Atlanta doesn't even have Teixeira anymore. So I'll tell you what, they made an outstanding trade when they traded Mark Teixeira to Atlanta.
The 1-2.
Ouch.
Almost got him. I don't know how he got out of the way.
I don't either, because I felt that up here before he even moved out of the way.
And when it's 100 miles an hour, you don't have much time to move.
No, you're talking, I mean, a split second. Less than a half a second to get out of the way. You just hope you pick it up and hope you get out of the way.
Somehow he caught up to that to get a piece of it. Well, I've heard hitters say before, the 100 miles an hour sounds impressive, and it is impressive. But after you see it a couple of times,
Well, if it's straight.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
If it's straight.
moving,
No, I'm not saying it doesn't have time to move, really. I mean, seriously. I mean, some of it just gets on you. He's so fluid and easy, Matt. I don't see how it can be that easy. But that, to me, you put it in play, it's a good at-bat.
Bobbled by Davis, the quick flip, and they still got him. 2 down. Davis didn't panic, even though he couldn't find the handle for a moment. And the Indians are down to their final out, down 2 runs here in the last of the 10th. Neftali Feliz delivers. And it's over for a strike. Feliz out of the Dominican Republic, and as Rick mentioned, just 21 years old. He'll turn 22 May 2nd. One and one to count, and it's up high, 2 balls and a strike. If Brantley could somehow reach, the Indians would bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Shin-Soo Choo. That's what you got to hope for right
here.
Yeah,
and that would be a nice matchup, because if Choo could ever get a hold of one of his pitches, it could go a long way.
Missed inside, 3-1. So we might have that matchup. You know, Brantley is normally a very patient hitter and has a great eye.
I was just thinking he'll probably take 3-1 all the way, but with this guy, you may want to go ahead and try and swing. There you go. Because if he finds that zone, and he swung at a strike, you know, you just make sure it's in the zone. You may need 2 swings to try and put it in play.
And the count now 3-2 with 2 down, bases empty, last of the 9th. And the payoff pitch. Ground ball to second. Arias throws him out. And the Rangers beat the Indians by a final score of 4-2, spoiling the Tribe's home opener. And Texas moves to 4-3 on the year, and the Indians have now dropped to 2-5 as they have lost 4 in a row. Well, Ron Washington handshakes all around in the Ranger dugout as Frank Francisco gets the win to improve to 2-2 on the year. And Neftali Feliz gets to save his first for Texas. The loss goes to Cleveland's Jamie Wright, his first of the year. Time now for our play of the game. It's brought to you by KeyBank, banking home of the Cleveland Indians.
Well, it was a key play before they had to go to extra innings, man. Bases loaded, nobody out, and they're going to come in. Tony Sipp gets Garco to pop up, and then Jamie Wright gets Michael Young to ground into a 6-3 double play. And I mean to tell you, that was huge at that point in time. Unfortunately, they couldn't hold on, but that'll be our KeyBank play of the game.
So the Texas Rangers prevail in 10 innings today, 4-2, the final score, and we'll be right back with the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show next.